Thank you all for tuning in to another video from Brockett Financial Services. What we're focusing on today is credit. Well, most people have the same question. They ask me this question time to time. What are trade lines and how do they affect your credit? So just going to start with this information regarding credit. What credit is, and just in general, is credit is reputation. So for a lot of individuals, just to break it down with, your reputation with a person is just like credit, which is just changed in the difference of now you're dealing with a credit in terms of dealing with big corporations and the credit bureaus. So just to start off, one of the most important factors is what a lot of individuals don't know is what does credit consist of. And I drew this up into a little pie so you all can understand that. And what credit consists of is your payment history, which is your on-time payments with certain accounts. They deal with various accounts because various accounts can be added to your credit reports, but the payment history of those accounts. And then right next to that, which is the payment history consists of 35%, but next to that we have the outstanding debt, which can be student loans or different loans that are on your report, different things that are reported on your report. But let's just say outstanding debt for a simple factor of the debt that's on a credit card, for example. And then your credit link history. So we know that, if, for example, you do business with someone that if y'all just starting business, you'll be kind of lenient towards, offering money to that person, a specific loan. So the longer a period of time that you have done business with someone, for example, just changing it in terms of doing business with Capital One, for example, your credit history length grows. And when it grows, that means you're comfortable with doing business with that person. So this is that factor right here. And then we have the credit mix, which is various accounts, different loans, different credit cards. And then new credit, which is the new credit that you apply for, different credit cards that hit your credit. So now that we know what credit consists of, we need to break it down in terms of what is a trade line and what does a trade line offer. And when a lot of individuals ask me, they say, what is a trade line? What is it good for? Well, a trade line is specifically just how when a lot of individuals were in school, younger kids were in school, and their parents had them on authorized users on cards. So when they got outside of school, they had credit? They had credit history. That's the same thing as a trade line. Someone just adding you to a credit card, for example, and now that credit history, they had that card for 5 years, you get all that history, all the payment history on that card, the usage history and everything on that card, that then reflects on your credit report. So now what you have is you have a credit reputation. Just how, different businesses do business with different people, they have reputation because they're building that reputation up. And that's what a trade line helps you out. So a trade line consists of the payment history, because once they add you as an authorized user on that card, you have the payment history, all that payment history on that card, from the point that the card opened until the day that they take you off that on the trade line. And then we have credit history. You need that credit history. So as soon as you're an authorized user, you get all that credit history. Just like I said, if someone had a card for 5 years, you're getting that credit history. The outstanding balance history, which it reflects is the highest balance reported to the credit bureaus from that card. So what happens is that on certain dates, the credit card reports to the credit bureaus. That balance that's left at that mark, the highest balance or whatnot that's left at that mark throughout the duration of that person having that card, that will then show as well on your credit report. And then we have the credit mix, which is just the person adding you to the credit card. Now you have another account on your report. But what a lot of individuals don't know is that for a lot of individuals that don't have credit, what they don't know is that what credit is in the sense of a trade line is basically a revolving account. And what I mean by revolving account is that it's now an account that's on your report that's reporting every month. So it's building your reputation. So let's go down to it right here. We have what are trade lines good for. So credit basically in general is good for what? You want to have credit so you get approved for certain things. Some of the little small things I wrote down here. Our trade line is good for establishing credit. What a lot of individuals run into is that they don't have any credit history. They basically had no loans, they didn't go to school, they didn't have student loan debt, they don't have any medical bills on their report, they never had credit cards, they basically just don't have no reputation. So if a person wants to establish credit, they can get a trade line, and then right after that trade line hits their report, they can go get an unsecured credit card. But for people who don't get trade lines and they apply for a credit card, now they don't have any reputation, so the credit company is going to look at them like, okay, we don't have anything on your credit report, so we're not going to approve you for what an unsecured loan, an unsecured credit card, which is you not having to put any money down. So they're going to say, hey, we'll give you a secured card, but you have to put $200 down, and that is your credit limit, and then over time they'll offer you a bigger limit and give you an unsecured card. So for individuals that want to take the easy route towards getting an unsecured card without having to put money down, you can get a Tradeline, and it's good for establishing that credit. Another thing is purchasing the house, because your credit score, as it goes up, you can get different APR, different loans, loan percentage on the loan, so that will help you in that instance, especially if you add a Tradeline with 5 to 7 years of history. That helps you out. Purchasing the car, the same thing, because when you go to a car company or when you go to a bank to get a loan, your credit good, the APR drops a lot. So you need to make sure that you have a good APR before you go purchase a car, because you can actually lose out on money if you have a bad APR. You get a bad APR on that loan. And then I put right here, getting a low APR on loans just in general, because the Tradeline adds to your report, adds credit history, and that helps you out. What a lot of people then ask me, for example, is that if you are removed from a Tradeline, would it drop your score? And the answer is yes. I wrote right here, when removing a credit line, the score would drop due to the revolving account being closed. So instead of it showing as open, it would then show as closed, and no more history would then report after that situation. So what I tell a lot of people to do is that once you add a Tradeline to your report, like I said earlier, you go, guess what? Establish your credit by applying for a credit card, because that Tradeline history will hit your report, and then you'll apply for a credit card, and then you'll get approved that way. So Tradelines are only good for certain things, but individuals who have no credit, get you a Tradeline. So you can get different loans, get a better APR. Individuals that are purchasing a house, you want to get a loan to start a business in that situation, or some things like that, purchase the Tradeline. It's an easy route to help you out. And if you're an older individual, you don't have kids right now, add your kids to your your credit lines. All you have to do is call customer service, first and last name, date of birth, and what will happen is that now that credit history will then reflect on their credit report. So when they get out of school or when they get to college and certain things, they have good credit, and it's much easier for them to get approved for loans and start a business or whatnot on their hands. So make sure you all do that. So just follow us on Instagram, Brockett Financial Services, Facebook, Brockett Financial Services, YouTube, C-Brockett Finance. I'll upload this video for you all right after this. The website is BrockettFinancialServices.com. And we drop a lot of information for you all just to understand financial literacy. But this is the video for what our Tradelines. Thank you all for tuning into the video, and that's it for today.